It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 298 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens and ducks and geese.
More chickens. We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug poultry every day.
And we kiss them too. Don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster here in Maryland. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Juan Valdez and I are over here drinking Colombian.
Colombia! Are you ready to sip some of this delicious coffee and chat?
I am. But first, some words from our sponsors.
Coffee with the Chicken Ladies is brought to you by Nutrena Nature-Wise Feeds. Nutrena Nature-Wise Feed, crafted with wholesome ingredients, provides everything your birds need and nothing they don't.
We're dedicated to delivering essential vitamins and nutrients to help nurture these special moments with your flock, from our coop to yours. For more information, check out NutrenaWorld.com.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Okie dokie. It's not supposed to rain today, but it's looking cloudy as I look out the office window.
It looks kind of stormy. There's nothing on the radar. I checked too, but it looks kind of stormy. But it really is. I don't even know if we're above 80 today, and there's a breeze. And so it's a lot nicer than it's been. Made me feel a little fallish for the first time.
Me too, with the clouds and the breeze. I was like, oh, I like this. And I was like, last night, you stopped by because we had some work to do, and it was stormy weather.
Oh, it was storming, all right. The whole way to your house, I was like, I got to beat the storm. I got to beat the storm. And I pulled in and it started to rain.
I told you, I was like, it's drizzling. You're like, I'm going to make it. And
but I know you don't like being out in the rain, but we did manage to record what we needed to record. So thank you for doing that.
In the rain.
In the rain. I know.
But yeah, no, we had to sit through a storm first, but that's okay. But today, it didn't say anything, and it's not humid, right? So when it's humid, you think you're going to get the storms.
Right.
But my food's all under the coops right now because I'm not playing around. I don't want to get wet food.
Mine's not.
If there's a pause in this podcast episode, it's because Holly Ann has to run out and take all of her food and put it under the coops.
There's no way I would be able to do it. The only stuff I really, really would need to get to that's in danger is the goose food. And I don't think that's pretty far away. I don't think I could make it from the house out there before the rain really started if I had to. But I think we're fine. There's nothing on the radar. The geese will be fine.
And if that happened, I'd like to see that on video. Please.
Oh, spare me that pain.
Go,
trying to run out there and
go.
Oh, God.
Run. You
just remember that I walked the 15-minute mile in gym class.
So did I.
And
we did it together. They were like, girls, are you going to run any of it?
No, we don't run.
No.
We only run if it's a poultry emergency, and there aren't too many of them, thank God.
My daughter could run like a 7-minute mile. Meanwhile, I do like a 70-minute mile.
We get there, right? We get there. That's all that matters. We get there in the end. 70-minute mile. That's my speed. That's my speed.
Exactly. So on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a typed review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. We love to read your kind words. It makes our day. So it's a free way to support us. And hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any fun.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the show, you can tell a few chicken, duck, or goose-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewithchickenladies. As always, thank you to our wonderful patrons. And there are 2 more things that you can do to help this show. And the first one is pre-order our book.
I think you really love saying that every week.
I do. I really do. Please pre-order our book. The Chicken Lady's Guide to Life with Chickens, the joys of delicious eggs and raising a healthy flock is available for pre-order right now on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
Go get it.
Go get it, yeah. Publication date is October 20th. If you pre-order the book, it will be in your hands on the 20th.
And you can have champagne when we have champagne on the 20th, when it comes out.
Sounds mighty fine to me, mighty fine, in fact.
Oh, yeah.
The contents of that book it's everything we put in this podcast, rolled into that book. Really a labor of love. If you're just starting out, it's got a lot of what you need to know.
And if you're not, it's still got a lot of what you need to know.
Still got a lot of good stuff, especially the healthcare stuff. Now, the other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay! Can I ask you something about summer chicken keeping?
Go on.
What's the one thing you end up constantly checking when it gets warmer?
Their water.
Exactly. And that's where the Omelette Insulated Stay Clean Water comes in.
Okay, wow. What? Insulated? Tell me more.
It keeps water fresh in warmer weather, helps prevent slimy buildup and algae, and stays crystal clean so your flock always has access to cool, clean water throughout the day.
That's a big one in the heat.
It really is. It means less refilling, less scrubbing, and more reliable hydration, which is really important for overall flock health and egg production in summer.
That will make such a difference. Ordering now.
Search Omelette, that's OMLET, and upgrade your new chicken water today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare, and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. There are chickens that have speckles. Chickens that have speckles, yes, they do. But they're not, I repeat, they're not a speckled Sussex. So this is time for this week's Breed Spotlight. Yeah!
Yeah, I know it is one of your pet peeves, and I totally get this. When you put up one of our Jubilee Orpingtons and people say, that's a speckled Sussex, and you say, no, it's not. And I say in private, you just put the hashtag up that says Jubilee Orpington, and someone is still saying it's a speckled Sussex.
No.
So these are the things that take up our time sometimes, our thought process. That's all we can handle. The biggest thing we can handle some days
Here's the thing. This week's Breed Spotlight, the Jubilee Orpington, it has, I think, ranked up there one of the best chicken names out there. Because Jubilee means happiness and joy and all the things. And it's an Orpington. And it's speckled. It might be one of my all-time favorite chickens. It just might be.
I am down to one because I did lose Queen Elizabeth a few months back. And that was rough, and I still miss her every day. And I did not get my Orpingtons for a long time. My Jubilees were my first Orpingtons.
Hard to believe.
I know, but it's true. And now I want more because they're just the best chickens. Now, the absolutely beautiful Jubilee Orpington is a large speckled variety of the Orpington chicken, and they were developed in England during the late 1800s. In early 1897, this variety was introduced as the Diamond Jubilee Orpington to honor Queen Victoria's 60 years on the British throne. Now, at the time, she was the first English monarch to reach this milestone. But since then, we have had another British monarch reach the milestone. Queen Elizabeth II has also reached her Diamond Jubilee.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
So that's why we were strolling across the Diamond Jubilee Bridge in London.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Now, the Jubilee was bred by William Cook, who incidentally died 7 years after the Jubilee debuted.
I mean, honestly, it's this crown gem of the Orpingtons.
I mean, it really is. They're so beautiful. So anyway, they were bred by William Cook and his family, and he is the same man who developed the original Black Orpington, as well as the buff and several other color varieties. In a letter to Lewis Wright, William Cook's son, William Cook the Younger, he explains the breeds that were used to develop the Jubilee. Now, if you look online, you'll often see people say that speckled Sussex and Spangled Game Birds are the foundation breeds. But according to William Cook the Younger, the original crosses were actually quite different. They started off by choosing the darkest possible reddish-brown Buff Orpington pullets, and they crossed them with red Dorking cockerels. They did some selective breeding of a few generations of this cross to do away with the Dorking's fifth toe and the Dorking hen floppy comb, and keep the Orpington size. Now, these first generation pullets were then crossed with golden spangled Hamburg roosters. And through generations, selective breeding was used to remove the white earlobes and the rose comb from the Hamburg. And now remember this, size comes from the female side. So once they had done those original reddish colored Orpington pullets, they just had to keep that base, cross in the males, keep breeding to select for traits. They kept that big Orpington size.
Now, in all of this, I tend to believe William Cook Jr. because it would be just so easy to think that it was the speckled Sussex and the spangled game birds that created the Orpington, the Jubilee. Now, if you look at the speckled Sussex next to the Jubilee Orpington, the body differences are amazing.
That's what I was going to say. If you just look at the Jubilee and you listen to what he said, that the females were kept steady with this big body, the speckled Sussex body is big, but it's very different to an Orpington body.
100% different. And then you just need to see them both together to notice that. So I would really tend to believe that people are not going to get into this really complex, this female to this male, and then switched overbred to get rid of the fifth toe of the Dorking, and just say it was a speckled Sussex. That's an easy cop out to say
it is. When in reality, what they did by selecting for that original big, dark Orpington female and keeping that as the base, it takes a lot of breeding, but that's a much better way to make sure your birds are Orpingtons.
Exactly.
Jubilees have been around the UK for over 100 years, and they appeared in the US poultry shows by about 1901. But at some point, the breed disappeared in the US and didn't appear again until the 2000s.
Thank God.
In 2011, they were imported by Greenfire Farms. Yay. They are not APA recognized at this time. So as of this recording, the American Poultry Association has not accepted the Jubilee Orpington as a color variety of the standard Orpington.
I don't understand why, but I guess they need to meet some standards that they're not meeting yet. So,
well, probably what they need is numbers. They have to do some shows, like they have to get permission to do some shows. There's a whole workflow to this.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if there are breeders here in the U.S. actively working towards this or not, because if no one does the work to get them into the APA, it won't happen.
Exactly. And they're not the easiest bird to find. That's the other part of this, you know? So accessibility is not there is a big amount. We really had to search for our birds when we got them.
They're a little more available now, but still not, I wouldn't call them common.
No, they're not common at all. So let's look at what they look like. And let's look at their standards of what they weigh and things like that. So Jubilees are large birds because they're Orpingtons.
Yes, they're supposed to be really massive birds.
And they look like a speckled basketball with a head.
Yeah, a small head at that. A small head.
Their heads are so
It's a dainty little head perched on a spotted ball.
They look like a basketball. That's how I describe their bodies, and it's the cutest thing ever.
Well, that's legit the Orpington body. It should be like a basketball.
Exactly. So fully grown, the hens are weighing in at about 6 to 8 pounds, and the roosters are weighing in between 8 and 10. They are a handful of Orpington love. They're just amazing.
These weights may be a little low, actually.
I feel like mine are closer like 7, 8 pounds at least.
My hen's at least 8 pounds. I mean, my hens are massive.
They're bigger than mine.
Yeah.
Your hens are bigger than mine. That's for sure. And they do have moderate sized straight combs. I will say this. The Orpington is one chicken that you could have one with a really big straight comb and one with a small. It's all in how they're bred in those genetics. And I got 4 to start off with, just regular Orpingtons, and their combs were all different sizes.
Yeah.
So the Jubilees are going to be the same way. They have small wattles on the hens, white legs and feet, and their body should be heavily, and when we say heavily, we mean heavily feathered.
Mucho fluffo.
I mean, you got to go through the feathers to find the ball. Okay?
That's some feather there. Yeah.
Now, these chickens are beyond beautiful because they're not just speckled, but the feathers are a dark mahogany red base with black beetle green sheen, barring on the end of the feathers, and white spangle on the top. I am just excited, if you could tell this, saying what these feathers look like, because they're some of the most beautiful that you're ever going to see. I mean,
they
seriously.
really are absolutely beautiful birds, and their temperament is just as good as they're just as nice as they are pretty.
They're just really cool, and they're some of my favorites.
Mhm.
Honestly, I think it's worth the trouble to go out and find the Jubilee Orpington and add them to your flock. That's for sure.
I agree.
So they have white skin and white feet and legs, like I said before, but red earlobes. They're going to lay you brown eggs, some darker, lighter, usually in that midline there. Now, they're slow to begin laying because they're major heritage breed. Let's look at it this way. So pullets sometimes can take 6 months or more to begin. And the way I look at that is you'll have them longer on the other end. You'll be getting eggs longer. So just be patient and let them do their thing. They're not amazing layers. We talk about this all the time with the Orpingtons, and we're like, why are Orpingtons always on the best layer list? Because they're not. So don't get them thinking Orpingtons of any kind are on a best layer list. They're not.
I'd still scratch my head over that. Fiona does too, and she's an Orpington breeder. She's like, they're just not stellar layers. They're not. There's nothing wrong with that, but they're not like high production layers.
They're beautiful, snuggly, all the great things with the personalities, but the egg laying thing, people always want to put them on a best layer list, and they're just not.
Maybe the first year when you're getting 3 or 4 eggs a week, but that ends very quickly. You're down to 2 or 3 eggs a week.
Right. So you're looking at 150 to 180 per year. Right. I think they're more commonly after a year going to give you 2 eggs a week usually. And if you have more than one, it may feel like a lot because you got them laying on different days.
Yes.
But they're not. But they have so many other attributes that make them perfect. So here's the other thing. They will go broody. Again, they are an Orpington.
Orpingtons. Yep. Orpingtons.
They'll be great moms. They love babies because they're different color variety that was bred for feather difference.
Right. For the spangles, essentially. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's take a look at this. The feather layers that we were just talking about, they're beyond cold hardy. That does not mean to keep them out when it's below 32. They have all the skin on them that can become a problem and frostbitten. But
Orpingtons are very hardy, but they're also kind of wimps about the cold. My Orpingtons have never liked to be cold.
This is what I have to say. If you want to see what a chicken feels like in the cold, take your shoes, your socks, your boots, everything off, and walk into the snow with your bare feet. And you tell me, do you want to stay out there? No.
Can't argue with that.
That's how the chickens feel.
Now, because they're so big, and we're not exaggerating on their side, these are massive birds. They will probably need lower roosts. They should not have to jump down from really high because you are risking leg injuries there. A lot of Orpingtons prefer to sleep in the bedding and not on a roost. That might drive some folks crazy. I don't care. I have coachins that sleep in the shavings every night.
Okay, so Charlotte, one of my 2 Jubilees, likes to sleep in a nest box because she's massive. If you have all that weight, you're not going to want to be jumping on a high roost.
Right. With the big birds, I'm like, as long as they're not getting directly pooped on and everyone's happy.
I don't want to get pooped on.
I don't want to get pooped on. Oh, yeah, because, Indigo, that beautiful, massive black cochin hen that I have.
Yeah.
Somebody pooped straight on her back the other night.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, that's
not
what
good.
I said. Yeah. She insists on sleeping in the shavings. But anyway, so you might see that with some of your Orpingtons. Because they're cold hardy, you can guess that they're not going to be very heat hardy, especially with all that feathering and that massive body size.
No, not at all. They need fans, and more fans.
Shade, lots of cool water. Sometimes my Orpington Queen Victoria likes to splash her feet in some cool water to cool off.
Definitely. Now, here's the thing. They got those great personalities.
They are so friendly.
For families, they're the best.
Yeah, they're really good with kids. As we said, not the greatest layers, but they more than make up for it with their beauty and gentleness. Gosh, I miss Queen Elizabeth was a sudden death, and I just really miss her. She was such a neat hen.
I know. I saw her the day you had her into Dr. Rebecca, and she still was beautiful, even not feeling well that day.
Absolutely stunning. She is she had the most white spangles of all the 4 of our Jubilees.
Yeah.
Just a really, really stunning bird. I probably will do a portrait of her at some point because she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
As we said earlier, Jubilees are not currently recognized by the APA, but there is an active club in the US. It's called the United Orpington Club. And if you wanted to breed for showing, they could help you with a breed standard. If you're in the UK, the breed standard does appear in the British Poultry Standard, and the Orpington Club of the UK is another good place to connect with breeders.
Now, here's the all-important question. Where can you find the Jubilee Orpington?
Now, I did find some more of the commercial hatcheries carrying them, as more than did before, and some private breeders. My Pet Chicken sells Jubilees, both as chicks and its started pullets. I would probably go there. That's actually the first place I saw them available in the U.S. was My Pet Chicken.
My Pet Chicken didn't have them when we bought them.
They had them, but they didn't have them available.
Right.
Because, as you can imagine, they're popular. They're gorgeous. Now, if you do choose to buy your Jubilees from My Pet Chicken, please use the affiliate link on our website.
Please.
So that we receive a small commission at no extra cost to you, dear listener.
This is what we had to say. We'd have to recommend. Go find yourself a Jubilee Orpington and hug the heck out of them and give them all the love, because they're going to just suck it in and then you're going to give it back, and it's going to be a love fest, and they're going to give you 2 eggs a week and you're going to be really happy because they're a great breed of chicken for families, and you can't go wrong with this breed.
Victoria's always behind my feet. Like, she's always following, and Elizabeth did too. They were always under my feet, always following me around, wanting to see what was going on. And they're very chatty. I love that.
Yeah, I remember telling you, like, every night, Stella, she's one of my Jubilees, she waits and for me to say goodnight, for her to walk up the ladder. She's last in every night.
That's really cute.
And you're like, oh my God. So yeah, end the love fest for the Jubilee. Go get yourself some Jubilees.
Yeah.
Please.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera.us.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today.
Eaton Pet and Pasture is a farmer-owned company based in upstate New York that creates USA-made, sustainable products for backyard chicken keepers. From low-dust hemp bedding and comfy aspen nesting pads to nutritious treats and odor-eliminating products, everything is designed to keep your coop clean, healthy, and smelling egg-tastic.
All their products are made right here in the USA with ingredients that are safe for your flock and the planet. So whether you're doing a deep clean or just a quick refresh, Eaton makes it simple to care for your coop the natural way.
They're your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness, made easy.
Visit EatonPetAndPasture.com to explore the full line of flock favorites and use the code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount. Okay, so are we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this week's main topic, it started a while back, but we have gotten multiple messages from you guys, from the listeners, that people are having problems with chickens with eye injuries.
Yeah, we've had a lot of eye injury issues that have popped up over the past year.
We figured let's talk about it so that
Yeah.
we have a place for you to go to listen.
Eye injuries are unfortunately a fairly common problem in chickens. So the best thing you can do is be prepared and be observant. You want to catch eye problems as quickly as possible for the best possible outcomes. And sometimes what looks to your eye like a little scratch or a tiny spot can be incredibly painful or extremely damaged or both.
Yeah.
So we suggest 2 items for your first aid kit. The first is a tube of terramycin, though we have heard that in some places you need a prescription to get it because of things.
People overusing what they shouldn't be overusing.
Exactly. Somebody can't behave and the rest of us suffer for it. And the other thing is a can or a little bottle of sterile eye wash. And really, there's a third thing, and that is a veterinarian who can, at the very least, prescribe pain meds and antibiotics for you.
Exactly. That you can get in quickly because eye problems, like Holly Ann said, you got to get on them pretty quickly. Now, being pecked in the eye is probably going to be your number one most common eye injury because it's all fun until somebody gets pecked in the eye.
Fun and games until somebody gets pecked in the eye. Beaks and eyes. Yeah, it's not great.
But chicken and other poultry can also be poked in the eye by hay, by straw, twigs, thorns, the metal wiring if it comes loose on your runs. And they live in an area where sand, dirt, debris, all these things can get in their eye, and even sand or dirt can scratch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know how I am.
Called
if
ulcers.
if an eyelash falls in my eye, like I can't rest until it gets out of there.
Okay. True story, very gross. A couple weeks ago, a gnat flew in my eye. And I think it flew in my eye as I was blinking or closing my eye. That was not a good experience. That's
Did it go up or down? Was it up or down?
I think it was down. I think it was under my lower lip. It was not a good experience. Eventually, everything was fine, but it was not good. That's all I'm saying.
So here's the thing. All these things, sand, dirt, whatever, all those things can cause lacerations, ulcers, punctures, all to the cornea. And if you have that or any irritation, it's going to hurt. You need to help fix it. So that sterile eye, the eye wash is really important to be able to wash everything out of there first before you medicate the eye at all. Now, you may also be seeing injuries to the eyelid. I did. Clover had a triangle taken out of her eyelid by somebody pecking her.
Oh, what a surprise. Croissant, my Faverolles, also has injuries to her eyelids from nasty little beaks.
Exactly. And that's where that eye wash and terramycin really come in handy. If you take the time right now and try to go to Amazon or someplace like that, and you can buy terramycin, I would buy 1 or 2 tubes as long as you can buy it and have it. We learned over the spring while we were traveling that there has been a ban on some of it, but if you can still get it, it's a broad spectrum antibiotic for the eye. So I think Holly's going to look up right now and see if we can actually get it.
Yeah.
Now, these eyelids, let's explain that they have some very important functions, right? So the eyelids should be taken just as seriously as the eyeball itself and any trauma, because the eyelid is what protects that all-important eye from getting the things in it in the first place. So if that is injured, then you've got a problem. Now, the third eyelid, the nictitating membrane, can also be scratched, punctured, and suffer abrasions. That's that little eyelid that goes sideways that protects that eye. That can also be pecked or get scratched or any of those things.
Have debris stuck under it or, all of that's bad. Bacterial infections of the eye can occur as secondary infections after an injury. So that's like insult to injury. But we should note also that bacterial infections sometimes occur without any kind of trauma. They can be the result of disease, including mycoplasma and infectious coryza, or they could be just a run-of-the-mill random conjunctivitis caused by any number of other bacterial things.
In the schoolyard, I wonder if there's pink eye going around in the chicken yard.
I know.
Keep your kid at home if they have pink eye. Keep your chicken at home.
I don't know. I mean, it might be like coccidiosis. There are different varieties for different species.
Yeah.
So maybe there are chicken-specific conjunctival diseases. I don't know.
I mean, if you see it spreading, then you know that it might be Now, certain viruses, including Merrick's, can cause eye changes, including misshapen pupils. But pupil damage can also result from pecking injuries or being poked in the eye. Now, I do have one of my leg bars, Peggy, who was pecked and had an injury, which was treated, and now she is blind in the right eye.
Yeah.
So these things can happen even to the most careful people. It's just being prepared, which is so important here. Now, poultry kept in unclean housing or in overcrowded or, let's say, industrial areas can have their eyes irritated and injured just from strong ammonia fumes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's another reason to keep that coop really clean.
So on Amazon, I see a generic form of terramycin called TerraPet.
Okay.
And it's listed for dogs, cats, cattle, sheep, horses, and birds. $19.99 for a tube, which is about the average price for terramycin. So yeah, you can just grab that on there if you need to.
Yeah. Go get yourself some for your first aid kit.
I don't see anywhere where it asks for a prescription. So I think it says one-time purchase. I think grab yourself some while you can.
Yeah, because when you need it, you need it. You don't want to wait 2 to 4 days to get it or whatever.
I know in some of the other states where we were this spring, people were saying, no, we can't sell that. But here in Maryland, they sell it on the shelf. So
yeah, I think it was in Montana. They were saying they couldn't.
I think you're right. Maybe it's just a state law. I don't know.
Maybe.
Now, symptoms of eye injuries, and there's a lot of symptoms here. And again, that's where being observant comes in. So symptoms can include swollen eyes or swollen eyelids, runny eyes, crusty eyes, bubbly eyes. There's a trifecta for you.
That's a song.
Right? Birds holding their eye shut, blood in or anywhere around the eye, a cloudy looking eye or any part of the eye being discolored, lots of blinking or rubbing the eye, one eye looking different from the other. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to figure this out, but it's a thing. We both have birds that have one different eye. Inflamed membranes. So if your bird opens the eye and what's usually a healthy pink membrane is like fuchsia and angry looking, a sunken looking eye, which is structural damage to the eye, and then a general sensitivity to light is also worth checking out.
Yeah, I remember Peggy went into Rebecca and she looked at it and she's like, the pupil is a different shape because that beak is strong. It just went through and just damaged.
If you remember, my Carmelita had a weird eye. One weird eye. We had her tested for Merrick's just in case, and it was negative. But if you looked at her eye, one by the other, one pupil was funky looking. It was like kidney shaped, I think.
Yeah, so that's now Peggy. It started with the pupil looking differently. She was treated with all the medicine and everything, but now the eye is cloudy itself. So things heal up and then they can't see. But starts at home, because if you can have the medicine in the wash and then call and you can't get in for a day, at least you can start medicating until you get in with a broad spectrum antibiotic ointment. Now, let's go through treatments. First of all, separate your bird to make sure she is safe, comfortable, and has easy access to food and water, because if it was a pecking injury, you want to get her the heck out of there so that it doesn't happen again. And check her out, because sometimes they're pecking injuries because the bird may have something else wrong with her.
Right.
And they're picking on a sick bird. So you want to look her all over that way. Now, if the injury appears minor, you can gently wash out the eye with that sterile solution and apply a small amount of terramycin ointment about 3 to 4 times a day. Okay? You can't be afraid to put this in multiple times a day.
Right.
If you work, do it at least twice a day. If you're not home during the day, at least twice a day.
The more, the better when it comes to eyes.
Yeah, when you blink, it takes it out of there, so you want to keep adding it in. Now, whatever you use should be for eyes only. That we cannot say strong enough. Don't just get triple antibiotic ointment and put that in the eye. You'll burn, you'll do everything else to that eye, and it'll be a lot worse than it was before you did it.
Yeah, I mean, if you use something like Neosporin that's not intended for eyes, it can severely damage the cornea and make what may have been a fixable problem a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, it can be like a burn almost. I mean, it can do a lot of bad stuff. Like we said earlier, Eye injuries can be extremely painful, and certain injuries can change the eye pressure with serious consequences. So taking your bird to an avian vet is the very best option that you can do. And like I said, the medicine is good to have to get you to the point where you have the appointment.
Prevention, of course, is the best cure. And it's really divided between basic biosecurity and then reducing environmental risks. Biosecurity helps keep things like mycoplasma and other diseases out of your flock. If you keep your coops and runs clean and well ventilated to prevent a buildup of ammonia fumes and keep down fine dust that can irritate eyes, you also want to look around for things like pokey bits of wire, bits of twig that are, chicken eye level in the environment that could poke them.
The other thing that I would suggest is, and I know we probably do have some people that use sand, but sand as a substrate in your run is really kind of difficult because
I went back and forth about mentioning it because I know so many really good chicken keepers who use it.
Right.
But on the other hand, a grain of sand in the eye is a problem. So
it's very abrasive. The other thing is, it's not going to be just something that injures the eye. Sand can harbor all those bad things. It can harbor bacteria and fungus and all the bad things in the sand. So that's why I just want to mention it.
in severe cases, your vet may opt to remove an injured eye, which sounds horrible, but it actually isn't. I currently have 2 one-eyed chickens. Katsumoto, who lost an eye to fighting before he came to me, and then my little Faverolles cream puff, who was injured in the shipping box. And you, of course, have Peggy. And all 3 of those birds have excellent quality of life.
And we meet a lot of people, I'm talking a ton, that tell us we have a chicken that can't see out of one eye, that's blind, or blind in one eye, or blind in both. And we say this, you can't say it enough. Chickens, they're animals. They don't feel sorry for themselves. They just
do not have time. They don't have time for that. They just get on with it.
They get on with life. They live their life. They're happy. They're grateful. They're living and eating. So don't feel bad because it's more pain to have an eye in there. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's true. You do have to be careful about bullying. So make sure that a sight-impaired bird only lives with gentle birds. What happens when you have a one-eyed bird is an aggressive bird can come up on the blind side and get them. And like you said, we have several listeners that have fully blind birds. Sometimes they live in the house. Sometimes they live with a special friend or two. I love the ones where they have a friend that helps them get around.
Okay, so Peggy has been in the garage. She's been a garage chicken for 2 years now?
Yeah.
Before that, Spicy had taken her under her wing. So she stuck right with Spicy. And the problem with Peggy is she was getting other ailments along with it. Yeah. So she came out. But Spicy was like, she would just stick right with Spicy. Yeah. And Spicy would kind of protect her. And generally you hear that they get friends and they're like
really sweet.
So yeah, don't mess with the blind girl's best friend or something because the other one will take you out, man.
Don't mess with eyes in general. Eyes are one of those things that you do not play with. I mean, eyes need attention immediately if they're injured.
Yeah, and we didn't mention, but you could also do a little warm compress on the eye before doing that if it's swollen. But just be very gentle and get that sterile eye cleanser because that works so immensely well. And you can always message us. We're always here if you have problems, and we can help direct you along the way.
If your flock could talk, they would thank you for shopping at Eaton Pet and Pasture, your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness made easy.
From their all-natural USA-made favorites like hemp bedding, roost refresh, and nesting pads to convenient product bundles that make chicken care simple, Eaton has everything you need to keep your coop clean, cozy, and odor-free.
Check them out at EatonPetAndPasture.com and use code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount.
Are we ready to move on to
cracking the eggs?
Cracking those eggs. Now, today we have a good recipe. It's really good.
What do you mean today we have a good recipe? They're always good recipes.
So today's cracking the eggs is
peaches and cream layer cake.
Oh, yeah.
Well, peaches are ripe right now. I have a whole bowl of peaches on the table in front of me, and it smells amazing.
I have a whole tree full of peaches in the backyard.
Does it have peaches this year?
Yes.
Lucky I didn't know that yesterday. I'd have been out there in the rain picking peaches.
I know. They're not quite ripe just yet.
Okay.
But they're getting there. They're getting there.
Well, this cake is essentially a summery version of the classic Vittoria sponge cake because I'm going to England in a month. And
stop bragging, man.
Am I rubbing that salt in a little bit?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
So this is a summary version of the classic Victoria sponge. It is 2 layers of delicious vanilla cake with a layer of fresh peach compote and cream in the middle, and then more whipped cream on top. And you can make this extra pretty with some edible flowers and some peach slices on top of the cake right before you serve it.
So, yeah, why didn't you bring it yesterday?
Why didn't I bring it? I don't know, man. I would not have minded sitting there chatting with everyone and eating some peach cake. That's a good idea.
This house was busy last night.
It was buzzing in there.
There was a full house here last night. Okay, so let's go through the ingredients that Holly Ann's going to need to make this, to bring it over back to my house. You need 1 stick that's half a cup of unsalted butter or dairy-free butter, and it's at room temperature. 1 cup of granulated sugar. 4 large chicken or duck eggs at room temperature. 1 cup of all-purpose flour or gluten-free all-purpose flour, 1:1. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, you're going to omit the salt if it's in the butter. Okay.
Yeah.
We always use unsalted butter, though. 2/3 of a cup of peach compote, chilled. The recipe is going to be below. 2 cups of whipped cream or dairy-free whipped cream. Peach slices and edible flowers for garnish, because you want it to look good.
It'll look pretty
When you bring it to my house.
It's a massive and delicious tea cake. I think it's a very appropriate recipe for an episode in which we talk about the Jubilee Orpington.
Yeah, I mean, peaches are in season. We like to do in-season things so that you can get them fresh.
You're going to preheat your oven to 325 Fahrenheit, which is a little lower than you usually bake a cake, but this cake does best with a slow bake to keep it moist and well risen.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to grease or spray 2 8-inch cake pans. In a large bowl, you're going to cream the butter and sugar together until light and fluffy. Add those eggs one at a time, continuing to mix well. This is a cake that does really well with duck eggs.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, they're so rich that why wouldn't it?
Once your eggs are mixed in, you're going to gradually add in the flour, the baking powder, and that optional salt and beat just until smooth. Divide the mixture between the 2 cake pans, bake for 20 to 30 minutes or until golden. Allow your cakes to cool completely, then you're going to assemble them. You're going to spread a layer of the chilled compote on the bottom layer of the cake, top it with half of the whipped cream, place the top layer of cake on there, then cover it with the remaining whipped cream, and again garnish with those peach slices and edible flowers. You can use nasturtiums, you can do marigold petals, you can also sugar the flowers if you want a little more sparkle. We have a really nice recipe for sugaring violets or other edible flowers on our website.
Yes, we do. That's been on there since the beginning.
Yeah, all you need is an egg white and some sugar. And then the peach compote, I mean, if you're in a pinch, you can just use a peach jam for this cake.
Right.
But the compote is so good and it's easy.
So let me just go through quickly what we need for the ingredients for that. It's 4 to 5 large ripe peaches from my tree because they're the best.
Everyone's going to be knocking on your door. I'm here for the peaches.
Peeled and coarsely chopped. I mean, and they're delicious peaches, let me tell you. 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and 2 tablespoons of water or green tea if you want a little bit more of a complex flavor. I mean, this is basically your simple compote for any fruit. These are the things you're going to have in it.
For sure. You're going to combine all of those ingredients in a medium saucepan and place it on the stove over medium-high heat, stirring the blend. Bring it to a mixture pretty quickly. Then you're going to turn the heat down to low and you're going to simmer the compote for about 30 to 40 minutes, stirring occasionally until it's thickened. Remove from heat and allow it to cool completely. The compote will last about 2 weeks in the refrigerator, so you can make it ahead of time. You could actually make extra if you wanted it for, say, like vanilla ice cream or something.
Yeah, ice cream.
Or some people like it on Belgian waffles, whatever. The only thing you want to do with the compote, because peaches are so juicy, is just make sure it's thick enough before you take it off the heat.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the strawberry rhubarb jam, kind of that same thing, that same idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think. Send us pictures. Holly will be making it to bring to my house very soon.
I can't wait to see Allison's photos of this one, actually.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be good. Oh, and while we're saying it, go give Allison a follow on her social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. Please just go to the post with the food pictures that are absolutely gorgeous and follow that account that I've tagged. She's amazing. And she's part of our team. So let's share some love. Okay, so let's move on to retail Therapy. Retail therapy.
Yeah.
This week's retail therapy, we're doing something that I don't know if I've ever met somebody in my life that said they did not like this. And that is...
Well, I have. It's garlic, and vampires don't like it.
I think we had this conversation.
We have had this conversation.
Okay, but are vampires really real? Like, come on.
Oh, I've known some vampires in my time.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you want to ward off vampires, you need to grow some garlic.
I gotta tell you, though, if I'm growing garlic, I'm not wasting it on a vampire. That's in my kitchen.
So today's non-seed spotlight is garlic.
It's garlic. Garlic is a mainstay of the home garden and the kitchen. It's easy to grow. It stores well. It's full of health benefits. In most climates, garlic is best planted in fall. Get ready to get yours into the ground in a few months' time. It doesn't grow from a seed the way most garden veggies do. You have to purchase or grow your own small cloves that are known as seed garlic. Garlic cloves are edible for both people and poultry, but be warned, too much garlic can harm the chicken's digestive tract, causing diarrhea and inflammation.
And your eggs will be really garlicky.
I'm not sure that's a bad thing. I guess if you're baking with them, maybe, but otherwise, I'm okay with garlic
I'm
egg.
baking a garlic cake. Let's
Garlic
just
and
get
peach
more-
cake. Delicious.
Yeah. Okay, so garlic has plenty. I'm talking plenty of great health benefits for poultry, for people, for everybody. Eating can bolster the immune system, stimulating white blood cell activity to help fight off infections. Now, it can do a lot of stuff. It also provides antibiotic action from the compound called ancillin. You want to crush or mince the garlic for the most potent and available form of ancillin. Okay. There is some evidence that garlic may help stop internal parasite eggs from hatching, but we wouldn't rely on this to treat a bird with a parasitic load. No way, no how.
That's not worth a chance, no.
Nope. So we consider garlic to be a preventative and a good complement to veterinary medication.
Mm-hmm. Growing garlic is pretty easy. Once you prepare a bed and plant the cloves in fertile soil, you'll give them a light mulch as they go dormant over the winter. You'll see them sprout again in spring, and they're usually ready for harvest in mid to early summer. Make sure you plant your garlic in well-drained soil. If your soil is waterlogged or heavy clay, you'll want to amend it with some organic materials. Your local extension office or Master Gardeners program can give you some recommendations for amendments based on your soil type.
Oh, yeah. And there are lots of great sources for seed garlic. Here we go. I can only imagine what some of these names are going to be.
I didn't go crazy with the names on these.
Okay, so your local farm or garden store will likely have it available in late summer or fall. So you can go look at their stuff that they have there, those places. You can also order from online supplies, and this usually gives you access to lots of unusual and hard to find cultivars, okay? Fillory Farm is one of the best. They have different types of garlics from all around the world, both hard neck and soft neck types. So, including spicy hot garlic from Asia and a milder porcelain white stiff neck garlic from Germany, Creole garlic, turban, silver skin, and purple stripe are all some of the other types available. They didn't have crazy names. I'm sure there's other ones out there with crazier names.
There are.
Here are a few more types. So we got the Chesnock Red, the Persian Star, the Chilean Red, or the Georgian Crystal. There's so many names that I'm like, they're in and out of my head so quickly, I don't know what I'm going to say.
There are
But
tons of them. I mean, like there's Creole red and Spanish red. There's so many types of garlic, and in that type, there are so many cultivars. But if you want a good introduction to garlic, head over to Fillory Farm's website because you'll learn a lot there.
You'll learn a lot there. Okay, so should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week, we are spotlighting another one of the most big and beautiful chickens out there, and that is the Bielefelder.
Oh, I love me a Bielefelder.
Those are nice birds. Main topic. We do this every couple of years. We're talking about disaster prep.
Yeah, it's needed right now, I think.
Cracking the eggs. Ooh, is some Mexican street corn tostadas. That sounds amazing.
Yummy!
And retail therapy, we are giving our honest review of Eaton Pet and Pasture's Revitalime. That is good stuff.
It's really good stuff. Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese every day.
And kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.
Ha ha ha!